So let's start again. Let's start all over again. Hello, I am Flavia Costa. I am your CPE teacher, and I have been teaching English since 1991. I would like you to turn off your telephones or mute your telephones, please, and turn off all of those tabs that you have open in your computer right now, because I will ask you to open some tabs as we go. I promised you I was going to teach you how to study for your writing without the need of an English teacher, and this is what I am going to do, okay? And if you're thinking of preparing for Ielts, CPE, CAE, or FCE, any of those Cambridge exams, you know how difficult the writing is. And you also know the importance of those exams, right? Well, right here in Brazil right now, I know that some English centers, they have been requiring the CPE to hire teachers. I don't know how it is in the rest of the world, but without the CPE, or you are not hired, or when you're hired, you have a deadline to pass the CPE. RISD International Schools, which sponsors me, for example, when they hire a teacher, they tell them, okay, your English is rather good, although you have 2 years to pass the CPE. And if you don't, I'm sorry, you're out of a job. So is that a pain or not? You must take the CPE, right? Another thing that people tell me when they decide to take the CPE is that they would like to compete. I'm looking down because, of course, I have a cheat sheet here of things that I have to tell you so that I won't forget, right? Okay, so another thing is that teachers would like to compete internationally. For example, I have been researching through numerous websites which hire teachers. And when you get inside and you start receiving emails and you start receiving proposals, you will read, must be native, preferable from the UK, right? Not only must be native, preferable from the UK. Why? English is not about being British or being American or Australian or Canadian. English is lingua franca, which means that it is spoken all over the world. And it doesn't matter if you're not a native, if your English is native-like. So you shouldn't be cut from an exam just because you weren't born in a determined country. And if you agree with me, you know how hard it can be not to be able to compete even if you know your English is that good. That's what the CPE is for. That's what C2 proficiency is for. It is the highest level exam a non-native English teacher can have, and whenever you want to embrace the world and compete with other teachers around the world, if they are asking for only natives, you can still apply because you have the C2 proficiency. So you say that in your resume and you can compete as a native because your English is native-like. Isn't it cool? That's, for me, this is the best reason to have the C2 proficiency. And more than that, you can compete with natives and you are still competing with the non-natives, of course, but in a higher level. Okay, so imagine the job is for all, only non-native teachers are competing. You have the C2 proficiency. Who do you think is going to be hired? You, okay? So pay attention to that. The C2 proficiency is the exam for you to have. If you are here and you're preparing for Ielts, let me tell you something. Ielts expires in 2 years. If you're taking Ielts for immigration purposes, it will expire in 2 years. When you are inside of the country and you decide to take a bachelor's degree or to go to a university, you would have to take the Ielts again. And if you decide to go for a master's degree, you will have to take the Ielts again. Now imagine if you want a PhD, you will have to take the Ielts again. Now the amount of money and the effort put into the Ielts, I am sorry, I think it's not worth it. The CPE is accepted as well as the Ielts anywhere else you go. anywhere in the world, okay, any university, any country will accept the CPE. It's the highest level. It's even higher than the highest level Ielts tests. And it's this never expire. This is what? An exam, a certificate which proves your English. And it never expires. You will only have that expense one in your life. Isn't that cool? So my English students, they know that I use many websites when we are studying online. And one of the things that I am going to teach you today is how to conjugate 4 of those websites to study for the writing by yourself on your own. Okay, I'm going to share my screen right now with you because some questions that I have been receiving in my WhatsApp list here show me that some of you are still in doubt about what the C2 proficiency is. What is the CPE? Why is it better than the Ielts? So let's go ahead, and I'm going to show you a little bit about the CPE. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen here with you right now. Turn share screen on. Here is the Cambridge Assessment English website. Please take notes of this path here. Okay, cambridgeenglish.org. If you don't have a pen and a pencil, grab your phone and take a picture because I'm going to show you step by step where you get there, how you get there. So here it is, exams and tests, and you will be able to see the amount of tests that Cambridge has. So C2 proficiency is the highest level here. I'm going to click there. We're going to be sent straight to C2 proficiency page. And here it says, C2 proficiency, formerly known as Cambridge English Proficiency CPE, is one of our Cambridge English qualifications. It is our highest level qualification, proof that you are a highly competent speaker of English. All right. C2 proficiency qualifications shows the world that you have mastered English to an exceptional level. It explains the CEFR level right here and what is the C2 level and the scores you should have on the test format, the number of papers. It explains everything here for you. Okay, let's get inside of the exam format so you can take a look. The CPE is divided into 4 different papers. I'm going to scroll this page down a little bit to make it simpler for you to understand. So there are 4 papers. One is the reading and use of English paper. It is the one which will test your grammar. Okay, when they say reading and use of English means grammar. Reading, it's because you are going to read some texts and answer some questions about those texts in order to show your reading comprehension as well. The reading and use of English paper takes 1.5 hours and it has 7 parts. All of the papers but the speaking are done in the same day, okay? And you only get the certificate if you pass the 4 papers. Then there is the writing paper. It also takes 1.5 hours and you have 2 hours, and there are 2 writings for you to take. One is a compulsory question, which means that you have to answer it, and it's usually an essay. And part 2, you will receive 4 choices of things that you could write about. It's probably going to be a letter, an article, a review, and the 4th is normally for you to talk about one of the 2 books they give you as an option to read. It's optional. I usually advise my students to practice their writing without trusting on the books. Sometimes the questions are so hard that even if you read the books, you're going to choose another one. Okay, so 2 writing papers. There is a listening paper. I'm talking about, if you're getting here now, I'm talking about the C2 proficiency exam. Okay, 4 papers. We're talking about the listening paper right now. The listening paper takes about 40 minutes. It has 4 parts and it's rather difficult. If you can understand movies in English, of course you can, and understand most of the jokes in English, it still doesn't mean that the listening exam is going to be easy for you, because at proficiency level, they're going to start putting people who are not native for you to understand. So you will have to understand a Chinese with a strong accent, a German person speaking with a strong accent. And yeah, it's not easy, but it's practice, and practice makes perfect. So just get used to the format of the listenings and you're there, okay? The speaking part is one of the parts that everybody's afraid of, and I have no idea why, because it's only 16 minutes per pair of candidates. Now imagine 2 people are going to talk together for only 16 minutes. I mean, it's a piece of cake. You're going to pass that. Don't worry about it. And I promised we were going to talk about the writing. So I have explained to you what the C2 proficiency is. I am going to stop sharing my screen right now so I can talk to you a little bit. Yes, you came here to write. Let's write. Let's get started. I said that we were going to take a look at 4 different websites that you must conjugate in order to study for the writing on your own. Are you ready? The first one, take notes, okay? Take notes of this that I'm going to show you right now, or get your telephone and take a picture. Here I am sharing my screen again. Oh no, I looked at my face and I saw how many wrinkles I have. That's the old 46-year-old lady talking to you. Well, what can I do? That's the experience. Okay, so this is the first website you must take note of. Please write down this address here, writeandimprove.com. As you can see, Cambridge English itself created this website, and you are going to sign in here. It's free for the first 5 writings you do, and then you have to pay for it. But it's not really expensive, and it's much cheaper than having a teacher. I already have an account. So here you're going to put your email or your username. Here is mine, flavia.costa@c2proficiencyonline.com. If you need to talk to me, here's my email. You can send me a message. I'm not giving you my password, sorry. Then I'm going to click continue here. And you guys are going to get inside of Write and Improve, one of the best writing tools online right now. I mean, it's the best. Well, there are others which are really good, but it is the best if you are preparing for an exam. When you get inside, you are going to see Write and Improve workbooks. There are some tasks for beginners, intermediate, this is, see, beginner tasks, intermediate tasks, advanced, just for fun. Us nerds, we think writing is just for fun, and that's why they do that. Then there is the test zone. This is important if you are preparing for Ielts. There is Ielts Academic, Ielts General Training, and Cambridge First FCE. Where is the CPE? There's no CPE here, guys. CPE you'll have to create, but you can create, okay? Don't worry about it. So Ielts Academic, Ielts General Training. Let me just give a little tip for the Ielts guys. Guys, just a minute. So if you are going to immigrate to Canada or to Australia, you will probably be asked to take the Ielts General Training. If you will immigrate and you are thinking about studying, going to a university, you're going to be asked for Ielts Academic. Both of them have different kinds of writings, and you should practice accordingly, okay? They have different kinds of writings. When you get in here, there will be specific tasks for, I just entered Ielts Academic, see? So let me select a task here. It says, take a look at the graphics and complete the task. Here are the graphics. There is a graph in the table here. You should describe them. And This description is one part of the academic Ielts. After you do this writing, you're going to do task 2, which is write about the following topic. They give you a question here, which you must answer, and you're going to start writing here. I'm not going to write here in Ielts because I promised that I would write in CPE level. IELTS can be CPE level. I'm sorry. You can be any level in IELTS. IELTS is a test which will determine your level. So it doesn't matter if you're basic, intermediate, advanced, or proficient. You can take IELTS. It's just going to give you a grade accordingly. When you take the CPE, you must be in a proficient level or else you do not pass. Okay? So this, I think, is why the IELTS is so famous, because there's no way you are going to fail. You always pass. You only pass with different grades according to your level. So here there is the feedback that will appear here when you finish work, your progress, and the exam mode where you can enter the exam mode here and you will be timed. Okay, so this is for IELTS. It's ready for you. You just go to write and improve, and it's going to correct it for you, just like I am going to show here right now. As you can see, I have my own workbooks that I have created. I have this created for this free class. I have my own because I love to write. There is my student Anna here. She prepares for IELTS, and my C2 Proficiency online group, my amazing teachers from RISV International who are studying with me to pass the CPE. They're great. 2 of them are better than me. And that's what I keep telling them. See, my English is not, you can listen to me, right? What is my English? What does my English have that your English doesn't? Nothing. So you are going to pass the C2 Proficiency. Don't worry about it. So let's go to the free class here that I had created for you guys. This friendship tasks, it comes with write and improve. When you create a workbook, you will already receive it ready for you. And I have just copied this one that I had created for my C2 Proficiency group. And let's read it together. An article for newspaper, article, magazine. This is really important information, because the format of writing an article is different from the format of writing a letter or writing an essay. So beware of that. When you're writing an article, you are talking to your audience. So you must entertain them. You must be fun. You must catch their attention. You can ask questions, and you can use I do, I think. Okay? So this is a big difference in articles. Okay, so the task says a newspaper that you read regular, well, let's do it again. A newspaper that you read regularly is conducting a campaign to encourage schools to teach more relevant subjects or life skills. Its editor has asked readers to write short articles based on the following question. So now it's the question that you should answer in your task. What essential topics do you wish had been included in the school curriculum when you were a pupil? Write the article for the editor of the newspaper. This task was taken from FloJo. FloJo is the best website out there for you to get material for free online. Guys, take notes. All right, take notes. flojo.co.uk. It's free. Go there. Sign up for the newsletter. It's fantastic. There is a paid part. My students use it because I pay for it, and they can have it in my course. Okay. Your writing. You're going to start your writing here. To start your writing, you have to select it, of course. Selected the task here. They opened a space for me to do the writing. Now, what I am going to do is I am going to get one of the writings from one of my students here. I will open the C2 Proficiency online, and I will get the same writing here, but inside of my C2 Proficiency online, I will choose Students writing. Who's going to be picked? As you can see, if you are a teacher, you're also going to love it because you will have most of your work cut out for you. My students, they're taking, it shows this chart here. For example, this student started here, which is like A2 level. He actually didn't start here. He was just showing a student how this program worked, and he wrote only one paragraph because that's not his level at all. As you can see, he's C2 level, right? And they're all practicing here around this level, and I can see how they progress. I am going to get the task that I want, which is life skills right here. I'm not going to select a student. I'm just going to go, I'm going to be lucky. Whoever is here is the one who's going to be picked. See, I'm not picking on you, and I'm not choosing you because I don't like you. I'm just copying this. Let me see if it will work like this, but let's try. Control C, life skills, and paste it here. It did work. So it says here 290 words entered. For this task, you should enter between 280 and 320 words. You have written enough. Well done. Right, so here she wrote everything inside of Write and Improve. That student of mine. Remember, what am I going to do now? Check. Pay attention to this. This is something that I just love. Submitting, and then it goes. This is Cambridge computer robot correcting your exam for you. How cool is that? I mean, how cool is that? And then it says, congratulations, you got the 3 days in a row and 2 days in a row award. So this is a really good student. I'm not going to share it on Facebook because it was not my writing. So continue to feedback. See, it's interactive, it's gamified, it's amazing. Here it gives you your feedback. It can be hard to improve your writing at this level. Can you use the feedback to help you? Think about other revisions you could make, read your writing carefully, try to improve this answer, and you can always return to workbook and try another task. Did you write about the question? 5 is best. So she did write about the question. 4 is excellent. Excellent. The computer highlights some sentences it believes that you should change, and they are all in yellow or orange. When it has a question mark, it says, is this the correct word? It doesn't look right for us. Then there is this little exclamation mark here, which says, you may need a different word. Perhaps there is better. Okay, so it's already giving you some tips on how to correct yourself. Down here, there is a progress chart, which shows that this person has been here in C1 level and then taken a B2 level test in which the person became a B2 and then went back up to C2. And this is probably this task here, which is in the end of C1. See, almost there in C2 level. How do I reach C2 level? Before writing on Write and Improve, you're going to start the timer. Okay, you know you have 1 hour and 30 minutes to write 2 tasks, so you must share the time and get used to it. Good job. So now you're going to change your work here inside. Now it's the time you're going to conjugate different sides. Well, when you were writing this, you could have already used the other ones, but I am going to show you in a while. I'm going to get this essay all over again with all of the flaws it already has. And now I'm going to enter, see this tab here, Grammarly. Grammarly, write it down, write it down. Grammarly is another amazing website to help you study for your writing. I don't know how I ever lived without it. I have no idea. I'm going to log in here. It is a free account. I have a premium account because I am a teacher, but you can have the free account and it will satisfy you really well. You can get the premium one if you really think you need it, but you can go free. It does a lot in the free version. Okay, so here are some of the writings that I have been working on or that I have been correcting for my students. I mean, are you a teacher? Man, you need this. It's going to help you survive through many essays and writings in a way that you're going to kiss your computer every day. Take a look at this. I'm going to put my writing or my students' writing here, and Grammarly is going to help me. Why did they highlight the first sentence? Because it's a sentence fragment. Oh, it's not an entire sentence. I open it up and it tells me, this appears to be an incomplete sentence. Consider reviewing the sentence or connecting the fragment with another sentence. Oh my goodness. So let's see if it works like this. When I think of my childhood and school time and realize that many life skills were taught between the lines of the formal subjects. Let's say, comma. For instance, see, it's not a fragment anymore. This was the problem. For instance, well, now it's wordiness. Now it's huge. Now we have to cut it into parts. When I think of my childhood and school time and realize that many life skills were taught between the lines of formal subjects, for instance, problem solving was present in the math class, creative thinking, blah, blah, blah. It is wordy. So, for instance, problem solving, creative thinking, projects we had to develop, and the interpersonal relationship was built. Projects and interpersonal relationship were all separated in different classes. Okay. Possible, this also corrects possible Americanism. Okay, my Grammarly is set up. Now take note of this too, okay? Here, right here, it says document type, general, default. You can change it for academic, general academic, essay, report, case study, book, literature review, see, dissertation. Business, those many kinds of businesses. Technical, medical, creative, casual. It's an article. Let's go for creative. Creative general, nonfiction, novel, script, short story. Let's go for short story. This is what they want. When Grammarly says possible Americanism, don't worry about it. Possible Americanism is not corrected by Cambridge, just by Grammarly, and only because my Grammarly is in British English. Why on earth, Flavia, is your Grammarly in British English if your English is definitely not British? Because sorry, guys, let me drink some water here because my mouth is getting... My Grammarly is in British English because I have been teaching and preparing students for Cambridge exams. Most of my students do use British English. Not only that, the exam is in British English. You can write in American English, you can speak in American English or in any other English you decide, although you are going to have to read your exam in British English and answer a lot of questions using British expressions. So get used to British English, okay? Right? Using whichever one you're comfortable with, but learn the British. Problem solving should be written like that. Build should be capitalized. See, it is not only a word corrector because it explains the task to you. You are missing a comma before the coordinating conjunction and. So in this moment here, and is a coordinating conjunction in a compound sentence. That's why you should consider adding a comma. You're not going to use Grammarly to correct your writing without studying. You must study or else you are not learning. Overused word, certain. Let's go for, however, I would have loved to have had experienced more of that, and I am confident. I would have benefited from classes on the topic. Which topic? So there are some ways in which the student could improve his writing, and this is where the teacher comes. This is where I would go in part by part and help him improve a little bit more than Grammarly would. Organizing, we were not going to correct that. That's Americanism, and it's okay. And okay, this is what Grammarly did for you. But I don't want to just correct my grammar. I want to move to C2 level. I am going to enhance some of those words. When I think of my childhood and school time, think. Think is a rather basic word. Everybody can say think. Let's see if I can find a better word. And that's where I go to my third website. I'm going to find a thesaurus. Take notes, www.thesaurus.com. I'm going to write here, think. Of course, you're not going to do that in the day of the test. You are studying when you do that. And when you study like this, you acquire so much vocabulary. It's crazy. Look, no teacher could give you such a list because we're not dictionaries. That's why. So I think, I assume, I consider, I determine, I expect, I feel, I guess, I judge, I realize, which one should I use? I realize maybe, let's take a look at my task. Go back to Grammarly. When I realize, oh, okay, I can do that. When I realize, we're going to keep the Americanism, okay? If you write in British English, all of your I's are going to be with SE. If you write in American English, all of your I's are going to be with ZE. Since he's writing everything in American English, we should keep it because for Cambridge, it doesn't matter if it's, pay attention to what I'm going to say. It doesn't matter if it is for the Ielts or for the CPE or for the CAE or whichever exam that you're taking. You can write in any kind of English, but keep it only one. Do not mix. You cannot write a little bit of British, a little bit of American. Choose the one you're good at and stick to it, okay? So when I realize that my childhood and school time, well, that was not good, right? He had already used realized here. So let's take another one. When I realize, when I judge, when I guess, when I consider, let's see, let's get one, just pick one. When I consider the fact, when I consider the fact that my childhood and school time, that during my childhood and school time, many life skills were taught between the lines of formal subjects. We should write something else here, right? We should change this entire paragraph a little bit. Maybe one of the tips that I like to give my students is, let's go down there after you finished writing and take a look at your conclusion. This list could be endless and change for myself. Meaning, money, marriage, parenting. Usually, in the middle of your writing, you're going to find a much better introduction. In different stages of life. Okay, I'm not going to waste all of your time correcting this composition. I am just here to show you that you're going to get your correction from Write and Improve and fix it in Grammarly with the help of a thesaurus and also, of course, a translator. Because sometimes we have to say something that we only know in our own language and we have no idea how to say it in English. So you're going to write whatever it is in your own language here, and this translator, it translates entire sentences. So let's say I want to write that, I want to write anything in Portuguese here. It will translate to English. I am going to get my sentence, my translated sentence, or words are better, and then I'm going to find a synonym for it here in the thesaurus, put it in the Grammarly, and in the end, after you fix it a little bit, you saw I just fixed a little bit of the first paragraph and some little itsy bitsy tiny things in the overall grammar and punctuation. I am going to get it here and I'm going to paste my correction inside of Write and Improve. Again, I am going to have it recheck it to see if my level has improved. Ta-da! This always amazes me. You know, seeing this blue line go like this always amazes me. I would take much longer correcting an essay. As you can see, I didn't correct this part here. I just made some changes in the first paragraph. It really needed some more, but it was C1 level. And now what does it say? What does it say? Excellent work. Your level is C2. Well, teacher, it is so tough. I don't know how to improve from C1 to C2. I just taught you. Okay, here I am. Did you like it? Yay! And then you say, oh, Flavia, I have no idea. How am I going to improve my writing? How am I going from B2 to C2? Without a teacher, is that possible? Yes, that's possible. You're going to use Write and Improve, a translator, Google Translator, okay? Don't have to be far. Don't have to be a difficult one. They're all free. You're going to use a thesaurus and you are going to use Grammarly. I will repeat. Write and Improve, dictionary, Write and Improve, translator, thesaurus, and Grammarly. If you study conjugating these 4 websites, you are going to have a blast out of your studies and your English is going to rocket, plummet. It will be amazing. Cool, dude? Cool. All right, so this is the content that I promised to give you, and I have already taken notes here. It's me using my cheat sheet again with things that I have to tell you. So if you believe that it is important to take the CPE, the Ielts, and all of these exams, or whichever exam you think is best for you, if you believe that and you think you can study on your own, great, you can do it. Go ahead and do it. But if you think you need a teacher and you need a more structured way of studying and you would like to prepare a little bit more for all of the papers, let me tell you that my next course, the C2 Proficiency Online, is going to begin on May 18th, on Friday, May 18th. And if you want to participate in the course, let me tell you a little bit about it, okay? Don't forget, if you stay until the end, I am going to give you a gift. The gift is here waiting for you. So the C2 Proficiency Online will cover the preparation for the 4 papers, okay? The writing, I am going to comment on your writing and help you improve your writing besides Grammarly, okay? We're going to cover the writing part, the listening part. I'm going to send you listening exercises. For the material, I have partnered with FlowJo. Can you believe that? FlowJo is one of the best websites there is when you are preparing for a Cambridge exam. They have all kinds of exercises for you, but they don't have a teacher. Right? So I have partnered with FlowJo. You are going to be able to get all of the paid material inside there if you participate in this course. You are going to be able to receive tasks that were made for you for CPE, so you won't have to create them. As you saw, there are only tasks up to FCE. So I will prepare all of the CPE tasks for you. You're going to use Write and Improve, and you're going to have your writings commented by me and rated by me. Listenings, writing, reading and use of English, online exercises. What else is missing? The speaking part. We are going to meet every Friday night at 8 o'clock Brazil time, so that we can, for 1 hour and a half every week during those 28 weeks that I said the course is going to take, 28 or 26. I'm not sure how it ended up, but we'll check together. And we're going to meet and prepare for the speaking part of the test. There is going to be a C2 proficiency exam on December 6th. This is the moment for you to start preparing if you want to ace this exam. Okay, so on May the 18th, I will be waiting for you there. If you think you need a teacher, just click on the button. By the way, Thiago, can you put the time and date there for the students? Because it's going to be at 8 p.m. Okay, Thiago, the time and date. Because it's going to be at 8 p.m. here in Brazil, and you have to see what time it is going to be in your country. So check it out. See if you can be with us for the speaking class, and just click on a link that's going to be here somewhere for you, and you can go ahead and enroll in the course. It's going to be cool. Now, if you're here, I promised you something, and I'm going to give you. If you are here until the end, I am going to check your email, and I'm going to send you a CPE task from Write and Improve from inside of my workbook for you to practice right now. And I am going to comment on your writing. I'm going to send you style ideas so that you can improve on your writing and move up a level. Isn't that cool? So everybody who was here until the end is getting that. That's your first gift. Second gift is for the people who follow my WhatsApp list. If you are following my WhatsApp list, you are going to have 10% discount in the course. Isn't it cool? 10%. But you've got to tell me that in my WhatsApp, okay? Inside of the WhatsApp, you are going to say, I watched your class and I want my 10% discount. That's a deal. That's a deal. If you start following my WhatsApp list right now, you will get 5%. Okay, just decided that. Isn't that cool? I know if you start following it right now, because I am the one who controls everything. I create the list, I create the group. So if you are a previous follower, you're getting 10%. If you follow my WhatsApp list right now, you can still get a 5% discount. This class is going to be replayed and replayed and replayed. If you are watching the replay, you can still get inside of my WhatsApp list, and you can still say that you are my WhatsApp follower. You're still getting that discount. This video is going to be replayed until the beginning of the classes on the 18th. So if you want to enroll, go right ahead. I do not have many seats available because this class has already been created for a while. So I might have around 20 seats right now. So if I were you, I would hurry up. Another thing that I have to tell you is, if you want to study for the CPE with me and have those live questions, those live classes to prepare for our speaking, get ready. I am going to use Cambridge criteria, and we're all going to correct each other. We're going to have so much fun, okay? I promise. Guys, unfortunately, I do have to go because it's time and I have another meeting. It was a blast being here with you. I really appreciated your presence. I hope you liked the class, and I hope you implement it in your life. Please click on the button and enroll for the class. I almost forgot to say that. Thank you. If you are Brazilian, you can pay for the course in 6 installments. That's great because the class will last for 6 months, okay? If you are a foreigner, it depends if your credit card accepts that. If it does, then I will see if I can give you a chance to. Okay, guys, that was for today. That was it for today. My name is Flavia Costa. I am your CPE teacher. I have an accent. I'm not a native. Don't be afraid of your accent. If you listened to my English, you know that if this old lady here passed the CPE, you can pass it too. I am not here to teach you English. I'm here to teach you how to pass this exam because I know the tricks and I will give you the tips to ace it. That's it for now. Bye. Yes, bye-bye.